Aside your mother's well-being, there's nothing I love more than a perfectly written story, especially one like Hunter x Hunter. But there seems to be this darkness lurking within. For some, it's quite blatant and obvious. For others like me, this darkness is an ominous undertone revealed at the very last second. That brings us to the point of this video. How did Isaac Netero's final actions reveal an obscure secret to his character? And what is the truth about humanity that the poor man's rose revealed to us? Before I begin to unpack what I think is the greatest depiction of duality in all of fiction, we have to... Wait, hold on. That's an excellent start. Let's talk about the brilliant universe Togashi shows us in Hunter x Hunter. Nah, that's not the beauty I'm referring to in this case. I'm talking about the interesting parallels that are very, very noticeable. Everything in this world, from the characters to the places, all have hidden depths. Take Gon, for example. 1 minute he's this happy-go-lucky kid. The next he's getting bloodlusted and unstable. Then there's Hisoka. Yeah, he's got a, let's just say, interesting side. Togashi, the creator of Hunter x Hunter, crafts these layers masterfully, playing with the concept of duality the way you play with these. It's not just about the characters. The locations hold striking parallels to our world. York New City, it's like an accurate depiction of New York.
I beg your pardon?
The United States of Sarhirta, it has major America vibe. And East Gortier, I just hope I'm pronouncing these names correctly. Anyways, East Gortier is practically North Korea. This gives Hunter x Hunter a level of nuance that is rare in shonen anime. It makes you think, gets you invested, and reminds you that things aren't always what they seem. Just like Mr. Isaac Netero, the chairman of the Hunters Association, he's seen as the pinnacle of power, one of the strongest humans alive, and a force for good. From the moment we are introduced to him, he comes across as wise, a little eccentric maybe, but also someone who genuinely cares for humanity. At least, that's how it seems at first. But then comes the Chimera Ant arc, and suddenly everything shifts. In the Hunter's exam arc, there was something easy to miss that I noticed as I started making this video. And yes, it is something about Isaac Netero's character, which was the exams itself. Oh, and if you're enjoying the video, please drop a like and let me know what you think about Netero's sexy body in the comment. You see, hunters to be go through these very extreme tasks to prove they are worthy of getting their licenses. But the way the exams were designed was a bit too sinister if you ask me. We have people actually getting eaten alive and others being impaled by giant spikes. And you can guess who approved these tests. And that's not all that suggests Netero's moral ambiguity. At the climax of the Chimera Ant arc, we finally got to see Isaac Netero's backstory, which explains quite a lot. For one, it showed us how Netero always sought true enlightenment throughout his life, just like Buddha, who is the inspiration for his powers, of course, showing a profound gratitude for martial arts and strong opponents. In retrospect, this nigga was honestly him. He trained as hard as I trained my wood every morning. I'm sorry, that information wasn't needed. Aside from seeking higher enlightenment through combat, he had a deep desire. He wanted to feel the thrill of fighting strong opponents, but sadly he had reached such a high peak that this dream of his, this desire, became increasingly difficult to satisfy, forcing him to manage the dojo till he became chairman of the Hunters Association. And speaking about the dojo, there was an interesting statement made by the narrator when Netero gained ownership of the dojo. He said something along the lines of, "A monster has been created." Now, all these things I just mentioned are not very easy to notice at first, right? Or maybe I just wasn't paying enough attention when I watched Hunter x Hunter. But when I started to make this video, I started to notice the shift in Isaac Netero's character. And what I like is Togashi didn't make it sudden. Because if you are paying attention to the beginning of the video, I mentioned all these issues started at the Hunter's exam arc, which is literally the first arc we are introduced to, or the second arc, I can't remember. In essence, I think Togashi was intentionally showing us the morally ambiguous side of Mr. Chairman, thereby proving we are no different from the ants. In fact, we are far worse. When the stakes are raised high, we as humans will do everything we possibly can to preserve what we deem to be the most important. For a lot of people, it's their own lives. For others, it's the preservation of their own species, just like Isaac Netero. Now let's talk about what the bomb represents. And if you don't know the bomb I'm talking about, I'm referring to the miniature bomb, or the poor man's rose. The bomb is powerful because it reveals how evil people can be. Until now, Meruem seems unbeatable, but he gets defeated easily because of the evil humans are capable of. I think it was beautifully said by this redditor, Dark Enesu. He said, and I quote, "It represents a lot about humanity as a species, especially when compared to the chimera ants. Hunter x Hunter shows the brutal reality that, in the end, humans have extreme destructive capabilities just on their own, and Meruem's defeat portrays this perfectly. Here we have this absolute perfect being of evolution that nobody seen thus far can stand up to. And all we have to do is fucking nuke it. If that isn't humanity's reaction to a sudden threat, I don't know what is." And I completely agree. Hunter x Hunter shows us the truth about humanity. Okay, yes, it's quite exaggerated, but still it mirrors what I think we are in the real world. A violent and destructive species right from our conception, fighting and killing each other over centuries, and still till this day ready to kill one another. You don't need to go to Afghanistan to find proof for this. Just turn on the news, look at the world around you, and that's why I truly believe we are no different. In fact, we are far worse than the ants. I also think Netero was disappointed in his inability to defeat Meruem. He probably wasn't happy he had to resort to nuking himself and Meruem. That disappointment right there is what brought about the malice that was visibly shown in his face right before he died. Once again, this is Togashi showing us that he is just a human being. He has many emotions. He's not always going to be happy. He's not always going to be cheerful. There are times when he will feel genuine anger, and there are times when he will feel genuine envy. In this case, it was genuine malice. Another interesting thing about Netero in this fight was how he constantly resorted to mocking the Ant King. Sometimes when we watch fictional forms of media or even read books, we see an eccentric human hero, right? And due to portrayal, abstraction, and other things, we tend to forget that they are just depictions of human beings. They too have complex personalities. And just like how we have different sides of ourselves we try to conceal, the same goes with fictional characters, just like Isaac Netero, especially in a story like Hunter x Hunter, which is very dynamic. And just like how Isaac Netero was a complex leader, there is someone else who is just as sophisticated. So watch this video here to see how Yamamoto was a living contradiction to everything he supposedly stood for. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you there.